Ready. 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 Set. Go.
Sandro Taxi.
Who's that dude?
Five. Let's go.
Are you ready? Go!
One.
Today, my guest is nationally known dating/relationship coach. He is also an author of several books, including The Magnificent 10, Crucial Dating Tips for Men, It's Your Fault You're Single, Tips on Finding Mr. Right, and How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day. Welcome to the show, the bad boy of the dating game, Mr. Locario. How are you doing?
I'm good. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, just hanging out. Excited to talk to you, since you're an expert in dating.
So I'm glad to be on the show.
So, real quick, I just want to know, what is a dating/relationship coach?
So a dating coach basically is someone who helps people with their dating game. So like when people got to understand about dating, just like anything else in life, it's a game. Life is a game. So when you kind of understand what game you're in, which is the dating game, when you're thinking about it in the context of dating, you still have to know certain things that'll help you get further and where you want to go. Kind of like if you're talking about the business game or the job game, somebody might say, hey, if you're trying to get a job, make sure you put your resume together, learn something about the company. When you go there, dress a certain way. So there's different things you need to do in order to get a specific result. So the same thing happens with dating. You know what I mean? So a dating coach just, coaches people and helps people to figure out, what they want and try to help them get that through the dating, so.
All right. And when did you start helping people with their relationships?
I've been doing this since about like 2008. So I've been doing it for a while, and it was something that I kind of fell into because I was at a time in my life where what I used to do before this, I used to work in an after-school program, and I was doing film production. So I still kind of do film production on the side with my business partner. He's a photographer, and we do short films. We shoot weddings and music videos and stuff like that. But I wanted to do something else that was that was something that I was specifically doing for me, and also something that can help people, because I was always the type of guy basically the type of guy that was always comfortable talking to women, and I was the guy in my group of friends who was always the one that had a girl. So I started helping my friends out, then I started helping out other people, and then it kind of just snowballed from there, where I just started branching out and then making it like something real, you know what I'm saying, and then it just kept going.
Oh, that's cool. So what do you think is the reason why people have such a tough time starting to talk to men or women?
Most of it is that a lot of people are, they're conditioned to be fearful of, the opposite sex. They're scared to get rejected. They're scared of almost, sometimes even having success, because they feel like, okay, if I actually get this girl, if I actually get this guy, then how do I maintain it? You know what I mean? So it's like so many different things that people are apprehensive about. And that's why they have a lot of trouble, instead of just really, figuring out what they want, being bold, living in the moment, and actually just enjoying themselves. And that's what gives you the best type of relationships, when you're just really there in the moment, enjoying yourself, and not really thinking too much of, oh, is this going to happen or is that going to happen later? And just really enjoying the moment.
Okay. So let's use an example. I'll use myself as an example.
Right.
I'm in my mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
I've had one girlfriend.
Right.
That was when I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been single since then. And I'm going to be posting this podcast on my website, Dudeinvan.com, which is the reason why it's called Dudeinvan is because I currently live in my van.
Right.
So do you have any special tips that would help me find someone?
Right. Well, this is what I would say. I would say that, whatever situation, because you said, so do you like living in your van, or are you trying to do something else with that? Are you trying to get a house, or you're just like, I'm cool with the van?
So the story is, I recently moved into the van to save money. I
Right.
moved out of for the last 2 years. I've been renting pretty much nonstop and moving each year, at least
Right.
1 or 2 times. So
Right.
one thing is I live in New Jersey. Maybe I want to explore and move out of the area, so I don't want to get too tied down. And also, I thought it would be a really cool experience to kind of like live under the radar. So I'm not doing this
Right.
because I'm financially strapped. I work full time. I'm not doing this because I don't have friends or anything. I'm a very social person. It's a little bit of an experiment slash. It's a place that I can actually call my own.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's cool. Like, if see, that's all. The reason why I was asking you is because, you know, if it was a situation where you were just like doing that and you were under hard economic times and there was a whole bunch of other stuff going on, I would say that, you know, focus a lot more energy into getting that settled first before you even, you know, take anything too seriously with women. You know what I'm saying? At this point.
No,
you know,
I have my ducks in a row, so this is a calculated move. It's just
Right.
that now I need to find someone to ride into the sunset with me in my van.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, too, and I wanted to say, you know, before that, was that, you know, for even guys who are in situations where it's like a financial hardship, I always tell guys that, you know, you can still also, you know, get women no matter what situation you're in. You understand? So, but it's just about having a balance. So I would say for you specifically, you know, since you're doing your own thing and you like what you're doing, you know, when you're interacting with women, all you have to do is bring that to the table. Just let them know, hey, you know, this is what I'm doing in my life. This is what's going on. And, you know, what happens is that when you're a little bit more honest and forthcoming with women that you're dealing with, what happens is a lot of women are more at ease with guys who do that. Because a lot of times what makes it hard for men to get women is that women usually have a defense mechanism up because they've been hurt, they've been played, they've been lied to, all these other different things. So if women find it to be a relief when they meet a guy who's just like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? And then so, like, all you got to do is approach women with that attitude. You understand? And then that will get you, you know, the type of women who are going to be into what you're into. You see what I mean? And I always try to tell guys, you got to understand that about yourself, understand your value, understand what you're about, and bring that to the table so that you can attract the right type of women. You understand? Because the thing is, a lot of times guys, they're too busy trying to get women to like them instead of liking themselves first and then finding women who like the type of guys that they are. You understand? And that's the easiest way to really attract women generally. You understand?
Yeah, so now I really believe that you're the bad boy of the dating game because I actually added that I live in a van to all my dating apps on my phone because also
Right.
my goal this year is to be on every free dating app. And
Right.
I put that I live in a van. I get more communication now.
Right.
Now, nothing's moved on from there, but I'm at least having more conversations. So
Right, yeah, because that's something interesting
works.
too. You don't hear that a lot, where it's somebody saying, "Hey, I'm living in my van," you know. So that right there makes you stand out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So now it's funny when I first contacted you, I watched some of your videos, and in one of your videos you said when setting a date you should like be concrete, like, hey, Saturday at 10, let's do this.
Right.
And when I emailed you, I was kind of real general, and I was like, oh man, maybe I should be more specific so he thinks that it's working. But you know, that's a good to me that I actually used that, and I had something set up. Now it got canceled
Right.
because of work, but I never really thought of that being that assertive. So where did you come up with that little formula and other little tips to kind of make dates more concrete?
Yeah, well, the thing is, what I used to do is when I would meet a girl and stuff, I would kind of leave things sort of up in the air. So I would, I'd get her number, I'd call her, and I'd say, hey, let's get together sometime, next week or whatever. And I'd say, hey, yeah, just call me whenever. And it was just kind of like there was nothing, concrete
Fade
about
away.
it. And what I noticed is that a lot of times, especially for women, are generally looking for men to, lead. They won't tell you that, but this is on a subconscious level. Like they want you to sort of tell them what to do and how to do it and when to do it, because that actually turns them on, and it shows that you're a leader type of guy. Because a woman is, on the surface, she won't necessarily say that's what she's looking for, but on a subconscious deep level, when women are interacting with men, they're looking for men who are going to provide, protect, and all that other stuff down the road. And you being a leader shows that you are that type of guy that could do that. So something simple as just basically telling her, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it this time. You know, we're going to meet here. And it's like you're taking leadership over the situation of you and her getting together. So it's kind of like when you leave it up in the air, or you leave it up to her, you know, to make all the decisions. It kind of goes all over the place. And also too, like there's other guys who are probably trying to talk to her. And let's say if you're the type of guy who's not really doing anything concrete, but then another guy comes in and he says, hey, let's do something this day at this time, she's more likely going to keep her, you know, date with him because he made something concrete. You know what I mean? So always tell guys to like really, you know, set the date, set the time, set where you guys are going to meet each other, and then, you know, make that happen. Don't leave it too much up in the air because then, you know, you get a lot of girls who might be flaky. Some girls, you know, they might forget or whatever like that. So you have to, like, really, you know, put that out there. Because girls will still flake even if you know, set a date and time, but it's a little bit less likely that they will if you do that because then it's a little bit more concrete and then it gives them something to look forward to, like, oh, I'm going to be doing this at this day and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's cool. You know what? I never really thought of it that way, that I'm not the only person that could be talking to them at that specific moment. Do you think sometimes less communication is better at first?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I always say to guys, look, all you really need to do, because a lot of guys do way too much, all you really need to do is when you meet a girl, let's say you meet a girl Monday, say, hey, listen, you know, you seem cute, you know, give me your number. And then let's say you call her on Tuesday and you say, hey, let's get together on Friday. And then you don't have to speak to her until Friday. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it's because a lot of guys think they need to call in between, call during the week, see how she's doing. And when you do that, it's kind of like you're giving her way too much attention. You're basically like ruining that, you know, that anticipation that she might have to see you because you keep giving her too much attention at that point. You understand? So you got to kind of keep it like, hey, okay, we're going to meet this day. You know, you wait till that day is coming up. You can probably call her that morning or text her that morning and say, hey, you know, look forward to seeing you later today. I'm on my way or whatever. But besides that, you don't need to really do the back and forth. The best time to really do that is when you're actually with her. Because, you know, I always tell guys, you want to get into a rhythm of if she, let's say, for example, she goes on a date with you, you're actually going on a date, she has a great time, right?
Yeah.
You have to get into a rhythm where she gets used to the fact that, hey, if I like this guy, I have to actually go see him. And the only way that's going to work is if you don't call her all the time, because the only way she's going to be able to get any type of contact with you is to actually come and see you, which reduces the flakes. You see what I'm saying?
All right.
So it's kind of like that thing you can do, you know?
Okay, yeah, it sounds good. I never really thought of it that way, but, you know, actually, after, like I said, I saw some of your videos, and I was like, hey, this guy's really, you know, he's got something going on here. Now, what do you think is the most common relationship mistake? And I mean, like, after you've gone on a few dates, maybe you're official, maybe you're right on the borderline, and with those common mistakes, what would you say to fix them? You know, you could list one or two.
You saying for mistakes that a guy does or a woman does?
Either way, just a general relationship. Because, you know, I'm hoping that I'm not just talking to guys, that I have some women listening to the show as well.
Right. Well, I'd say generally, like, a big mistake is, you know, really trying to, you know, force a relationship. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because this is what I tell people, either men or women. Like, a lot of times I get a lot of guys who, you know, hit me up and they say, hey, you know, I've been seeing this girl and, you know, I like her. We've been sort of seeing each other, but I haven't really heard from her in a while. Should I, like, keep calling her and see what's up? Or a girl might hit me up and say, hey, I've been seeing this guy, and, you know, I really like him, and I want him to be my boyfriend, but I haven't heard from him in a week, whatever. And so what happens is when those situations come up where it's like everything seems like it's cool, and then it might kind of, you know, die down a little bit, or you thought it was going to go somewhere, but you're kind of confused. You know, a lot of times people try to force the relationship. So either the girl or the guy might call the person and be like, hey, where are you? Can we see each other? Can we do this? Can we do that? And then that usually makes the person basically want to run away, because now they feel pressure to get into a relationship with you, or they feel like you're pressuring them. So a big mistake is someone trying to force it. The thing is that if a relationship's going to actually happen, I always say that the two people that are seeing each other, it's going to happen naturally because the two people are going to be so into each other to the point where it's going to be a mutual understanding that they want to see this progress. You understand? Meaning that when one person calls, the other person picks up, they see each other, they're always, there's no flakiness, there's no canceling all the time. They can't wait to see each other again. And that's going on continuously for a couple months. And then at some point, they're like, hey, we've been seeing each other, for a while. And then that's when that conversation goes. So if you see it, not really going anywhere, you understand? Or it seems like it's dying down, then most likely that's not the type of relationship. If you want a long-term relationship or a boyfriend or girlfriend, that's most likely not going to be the thing. The thing is when I always say it's like magnets, like a magnet to a fridge or whatever. It's like you guys want to be so close together and be together so much. It's going to be that natural where it's going to happen, where you won't even be wondering why they didn't call you because they will be calling you. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it is,
Okay, cool. How do you know if you're in an unhealthy relationship? And when is it time to move on?
Usually you're in an unhealthy relationship when you feel like, you're not being respected for who you really are, and you feel some sort of resentment towards that person because of, stuff that you've let happen. Because this is what happens a lot of times. A lot of times, let's say, for example, you have a guy and a girl, and they're hanging out and they get together or whatever. And let's say, for example, the guy likes to go out with his friends on Friday, and then his girlfriend or the girl that's, his becoming his girlfriend, who is his girlfriend, she's like, hey, I want you to spend more time with me on Friday. And then he's like, all right, cool, I'll spend time with you. And then he spends time with her, and he starts resenting her because he's spending time with her instead of his boys or whatever. And then all that resentment builds up, and then the arguments come through. And that all stems from him sacrificing what he's about for her. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A really healthy relationship is when two people are together and they fully allow or they accept each other as they are, 100%. You understand? So if she knows that, hey, this guy likes to go out with his friends, hey, my boyfriend's going to be out with his friends on Friday, and that's that. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because they
both arguing about it.
They both live lives prior to the relationship, so
exactly.
There's no need for it to stop.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's cool. Yeah. So also, let's say you're in a serious relationship, but it ends. How soon should you start trying to get back into the game?
Well, if you're in a serious relationship, what a lot of people do is that, since you're so used to being in a relationship, you sort of want to jump back into something because you're used to having somebody. So, what I say is healthy or is good is you can sort of date, casually and, have fun like that, but you don't want to jump back into something serious because when you just broke up, it's like you're at a point where you're kind of vulnerable. You're kind of still, especially if you like the person or you were in love with them, you still have some sort of feelings for them maybe or whatever. So you might just be messing with someone on a rebound, which is okay, just to have fun. But I always tell people don't jump back into a serious relationship because you need time to heal from the last relationship. It's kind of like if you were running and you sprained your ankle, you're not going to just get back up and start running. You understand? You got to take your time and wait till the ankle heals before you start running again. So it's the same thing with a relationship. You got to give yourself some time to heal, some time to reflect, some time to grow, some time to learn, so that you can bring that to the next relationship you're in. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people like to just jump into the relationship, and that stems from neediness and also insecurity, feeling like, well, I need somebody, I need a person here, I have to have somebody so that I can feel good about myself. You understand? And that's not, a healthy way to be.
Okay. And like I said, I'm on a mission to be on every free dating app, right?
Right.
What is your thought about online dating?
I think online dating is good. It's good to add to your repertoire, but I don't think that it should be the only thing. You know what I mean?
So it shouldn't substitute going out and actually physically meeting people.
Right,
okay.
Exactly. Because, and especially for men, because, for men, online dating it's way more difficult for men than it is for women. You understand? Because the same dynamic happens on online dating as in, offline dating, meaning that the men are typically pursuing and the women are, the ones that are being receptive to the guys, talking to them. But the thing is, women on online dating get so many messages that, sometimes it's hard for them to sift through all of it. So if you're a guy trying to contact this girl or that girl, 80% of the time your messages aren't being read or she doesn't see your stuff. So it's going to be harder for you to break through versus if you're actually at like a party or an event or a bar or something, and there's just a girl right there you can actually go up and talk to. And also too, with like when you're actually talking to a woman like in person, like actually there's so many other things that go on that can help with, being, with their attraction, meaning, body language, you actually having a conversation in real time, because the thing with online dating is women are even more picky online than they are offline. You understand? So it's hard for you to have that back and forth conversation and for her to sort of see how you really are and for you to see how she really is, in real time versus, if you're online, it's a whole different thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you're a guy who says, "Hey, I live in a van and I'd like to meet you sometime." So I'd like to ask, before you came on the show, did you know I lived in a van?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I try to keep that secret till I get my guests on the show, because I like to hear.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, so far everyone thinks it's cool, but I haven't had. Well, I had one female guest and she kind of freaked out. But so yeah, it's been good so far. Another question I have is, so since you said online dating shouldn't be the only place where you're trying to interact,
Right.
I've noticed from personal experience that sometimes social and place outdoors are a little bit tough to find people.
Right.
And I was kind of wondering if you had an idea or some examples of how to get to know someone in like a loud place, like let's say you're in a club or you're at a concert. Like, do you have any kind of tips on what we can do as men or women to kind of bring that person closer and start to get a little bit more, intimate to knowing each other?
Right. Well, what I say is, like, I usually tell guys not to go too much to clubs, you know what I mean, and really loud and crowded places like that, because places like that, especially, like big nightclubs where it's really crowded, everybody's dancing and all that stuff. I'm like, if you want to dance, I think a club is a great place. If you want to meet women, the club it's not the best place to meet women. And it sounds kind of funny saying that, but it actually, in my experience and in seeing clients that I've worked with and everything, it works best if you actually meet a woman like at like a small bar or something, or, at a networking event, at a house party, even at the supermarket, the laundromat, somewhere where she can actually hear you speaking. You understand?
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's not too crowded, it's not too hectic. Because in a club and those other loud places are like a big concert, especially a concert, the concert people are paying attention to the singer or whoever's at the concert. The club, everybody's dancing. The girl is there with like 5 of her friends and 2 of her guy friends. And it's like, so getting that like actual situation where you're, being able to communicate and talk back and forth with the girl is going to be a little bit more difficult. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get women in the club, you understand? Because, there's actually ways that you can do that. But I always tell guys it's best to, go to other like lounges, like small bars and stuff like that to actually speak to women, because it's just going to be way easier than trying to, get girls at a club or at some big, crazy, loud concert. You understand what I'm saying? But if you are at those places, what you really would need to do is that, you would need to really get extremely close to her, talk to her in her ear, have her talk back to you in your ear. And what I say is that when you're in those places like that, you need to basically be as quick as possible to let her know that you're interested. So I always say that's the direct approach. So basically, if you're at a club or whatever, if you're somewhere loud and everything and it's crazy, like, it's crowded and everything, you basically go up to her and say, "Hey, listen, I thought you were cute. Here's my number. Give me your number," and that's it. You understand? And then you just keep it moving, because it's going to be hard to have a long, drawn-out conversation in that type of situation. You understand?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I got into a little bit of a discussion with a friend of mine who swears by the club.
Right.
And I'm like, you can't meet people if you can't talk to them. So I said, that night I was like, let's just go to some small bar and try to pick up some girls, and then we could bring them to the club, because at least on the walk there we could at least
Yeah,
interact.
like they'll be there with you. You know, exactly. you
Yeah,
know?
but instead he's like, no, we're going to the club, and then we didn't talk to anyone, not one person that night. So, and he tried to blame my van for it. I'm like, they didn't even know about it. We didn't talk to anyone. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm gonna play this back over and over to my buddy. What you just said, that one small
you
clip.
know, at the club with the club, it's extremely hard. And I have a audio program, and it's called How to Get Girls from the Club Back to Your Place. So like, but you know, with the club, you have to. It's almost like you have to do twice as much work than you would do at another place. So I always say, hey, you know, if you want to go to the club, go there to dance and drink and have a good time. And you can also meet women there also, but it's less likely it's going to happen as much because one, you have girls who come usually with their friends. So you're gonna, if they usually come with 2 or 3, even 4 friends.
They're like the guards. They're like,
yeah, so they're probably not gonna leave with you if they're just with their 3 friends. The other girls are gonna cock block. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes guys come to the clubs with their girlfriends, so you end up meeting a girl who's there with her girlfriend, or with her boyfriend, or some other guy who's her male friend who's gonna get jealous if you try to talk to her, and he's gonna try to cock block you.
The protector.
Yeah, exactly. Some clubs are not even gonna let you in if you don't have a girl with you. Like it's just so much things that. You know, it makes it more difficult versus if you're at a lounge where they might be playing, you know, some music or whatever, but it's not as loud, and you're near the bar and there's a girl there, you know, you and your friend and her friend, you can actually have a conversation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I 100% agree with that, you know, because me personally, I don't know about other guys, but when I'm at a club, I feel like I'm at my worst because I'm sweating, I'm screaming,
Right.
and you know, usually if you're at a club, you're having a few drinks, so I slur my words. You know, it's hard enough for me to speak when I'm sober. So yeah,
Right.
I don't even really try to consider a club a great place to meet anyone really.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up about
Right.
maybe quieter spots and everything. So I want to talk about your website and your books and.
Right.
I was wondering, where did the inspiration come for your books? Now I know you have multiple books with different topics, so you can choose which one you wanna dive into.
Well, I have one of my books is called How to Have Sex with 2 Women a Day, which is like one of my best-selling books.
Is there a van chapter?
Say that again.
Is there a van chapter?
Oh no.
That's the
I
next
didn't
book.
add that in there. And I should add that one in there, but that book is really good because it's basically a book about teaching men how to, date and have sex with multiple women, the right way, meaning like, learning how to do it, learning how to manage it, learning how to be honest while you're doing it, because a lot of people think you have to be manipulative, you got to lie, you got to do all this other stuff. And, it's a lot of guys go through a stage where they actually want to date multiple women. So that, what inspired me to write that book is because I used to, go around and I'd have, I hang out with one girl in the morning and then another girl at night. And, so it was like I would do that, on my time off. So I noticed that other guys wanted to, learn how to do these things. So I basically put it all in a book, you know what I mean? And to teach you guys how to do it. It's not anything difficult, and it's not anything like, that's rocket science, you know what I mean? But it's something that a lot of guys don't understand because since they don't have the experience with women, also on top of that, a lot of the stuff that they've been taught about women and on top of that, the things that women say to men, all those things combined, it confuses guys. So they don't really know like what really works. You understand? Versus, what they've been hearing. You understand? So It's like I kind of put that all in the book.
Okay. And where could people get the book?
Yeah, they can go to my website. It's MrLocario.com. That's MrLocario.com. So you can get the book there, or you can go to Amazon.com and get the book over there too.
All right, I'll put a link on my page when I post this as well, just so then people have a way to get to you. Are you on Twitter or anything?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter too. You can find me at real Mr Locario. So real and then Mr Locario. And I'm on Instagram like that too also.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And do you answer questions on your social media?
Yeah, I do. If you go to MrLocario.com or you go to my other site, which is my blog site, MrLocarioTV.com, where, you know, I post up daily blogs, and on the sidebar, there's a link, a picture where you could click on it and you can send me your questions. And I do like videos and audios, you know, based off the questions and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw some of your videos. Like I said, the one that I liked the most was one that said to be like more aggressive. I shouldn't say aggressive, but to set a time and date, like we just talked about a couple minutes ago.
Right.
With your experience on the website, have you gotten a lot of positive feedback?
Yeah, I got a lot of positive feedback with, you know, a lot of the books and a lot of the advice. You know, I got some negative feedback, of course, but usually it comes from people not understanding what's going on. Like, they look at the title of the book and they're like, oh, this is crazy and this is misogynistic or whatever it is.
But they didn't read it.
Right, exactly. They don't, you know what I'm saying?
They're judging a book by its cover.
Right. They don't understand, but that's the thing too. They don't understand like the game, because what I noticed, and another reason why I actually wanted to do coaching is because what I noticed a lot is that there's so many people out there who get advice and it sounds good, but it doesn't work in real life. Do you understand? So I always said, okay, I got to tell people what actually works in real life. And a lot of times what actually works doesn't sound pretty or it doesn't sound easy. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of times people are scared to actually figure out what really works. You know what I mean? So it's like when they hear something, so it's almost like some of my stuff sounds crazy or alternative, but it only sounds that way because it's like a lot of people aren't saying what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And it's because a lot of people, you know, they're interested in, you know, making people feel a certain way so that they can buy stuff, but they're not really giving them the real information that's going to actually help them. So I was like, a long time ago, I was like, I got to give people the real information so that they can actually get the help. You know what I mean? So
yeah, is there such a thing as a guy chasing a girl that might not be his type? For instance, my example is like, let's say there's a girl that's really big into like rock music, but that's not your personal style. Now, would you be setting yourself up for failure if you try to kind of like learn her way and kind of push it on her a little bit that, hey, I'm into the same stuff when you're really not?
Yes, well, yeah, that's a mistake right there too. When a guy is trying to sort of switch up his style or switch up what he's into because of a girl and trying to make it seem like, hey, I like this too, or I like that too, you know, because now you're not being authentic. And the thing is, women are attracted to the real you. This is why, you know, like you hear the thing where they say women don't like nice guys. You understand?
Yeah.
And the reason why it's not necessarily they don't like guys who are nice. The thing is that a nice guy, and I actually talked about this in my other book, The Magnificent 10 Crucial Dating Tips for Men, is that no man is a nice guy. Like, a nice guy is actually an act that a man is putting on, because he starts to act a certain way and tries to impress a girl and tries to, you know, say yes to everything to her because he wants her to like him. So he wants to impress her by being this quote unquote nice guy. But the thing is, women are turned off because they know that's not how he is. You understand what I'm saying? They know that he's just trying to be nice to her. You understand that he's trying to suck up. You know what I mean? So it's like, they're like, who are you really? And this is why they don't want to date those guys, because that's not who they really are, and they're not really being authentic. So it's the same way if a guy was trying to, you know, if a girl like rock music and he hates rock music, for him to try to pretend he likes rock music, that's him veering off into the nice guy mode. You understand? And then that's what's not going to make her like him. So you can tell a woman, hey, you know, you like rock music, I think that stuff sucks. You understand? And she'll still like you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to technically like the same music she likes, but what will make her like you is your authenticity. And that's what I try to tell guys over and over again, is that you have to be 100% authentic, because your authenticity is what separates you from the next guy. You understand? And that's what makes her attracted to you. So if she's really feeling you, then she has to actually come to you to get what you offer. But if you try to be like every other guy, so because, like, let's say the girl likes rock music, trust me, there's probably 10 other guys that's like, oh, yeah, I like rock music too. And then you sound just like all the other guys. You see what I'm saying? So nothing differentiates you if you're not being yourself.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's why I try to tell dudes, you got to be authentic and be yourself.
And it could come off a little bit creepy if you just, you know, agree with everything? Because it seems like you're just trying to be too friendly to get something out of them
Right.
quickly.
Right, exactly. And it's like they can tell. It's almost like, like if somebody's trying to sell you something, it almost seems like, you're trying to sell her on the idea of liking you, and it's just like, hey, like, relax, you know what I mean? Like, you just relax and let me see who you are so I can see if I actually like you. Because now she doesn't know, you understand? Because you're not being yourself.
But at the same time, using the same analogy of trying to sell yourself, in a way, you kind of do have to put yourself out there, though, to let them know, like, hey, this is what I have to offer. I have a nice van, and there's a bed that I built in the back, and all my possessions are in it. Those are some nice things you could throw out there, right?
Right, of course. And see, that's what you should throw out there. And that's what's the authentic part about it, because it's almost like, like let's use the whole sales analogy. It's like let's say when there's a product and they're saying, hey, this product is the best and it's awesome and you should get it, and you're like, wow, let me get that thing, and then you're like, well, it seems a little too good to be true, or it seems like this will work, whatever, and then you buy the thing, and then it's not really what it lived up to, because all they were doing was trying to sell you on what they think you wanted to hear or what they think you would like, but the product is not really that, or it's like faulty or whatever, and then you feel like you got played or whatever. But the thing is if you actually have something that's authentic and you say, hey, look, I got this product, and if you take this or you use this, you're going to be able to make this happen, and you do it and it actually works, then you're like, oh, snap, this is great. I want to buy some more. I want more of it. I want to keep, I want to stay on this program. I want to, so since it's authentic, that's what makes the person want to keep doing it. So it's the same thing with the relationships, and you being a guy and, getting with women, is that your authenticity builds that trust. You understand? And that trust makes her feel at ease with you, and that's what makes her want to keep going with you. You understand? All that other stuff is, when you're trying to be fake or you're trying to do things for her and all this other stuff, she can smell that a mile away, because there's so many guys doing it simultaneously at the same time you're doing it. So she can tell that you're the one that's doing that the same way the other guys are doing it. You understand? Women are, they're masters at picking that up, because you got to understand, women get approached and talked to every day. So they've heard it all before, they've seen it all before, but they won't see you coming if you are being yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And then it's something new to her. And that's what I try to explain to guys. You have to be yourself. You have to be yourself 100%. And even to the point where if you're saying something or doing something, and you might think, oh, I shouldn't say this because it might offend her, say that. That's the best thing to say. If you have that little feeling in your gut, like, oh, this seems kind of crazy, say that, because that's what's going to make you stand out versus the other guys who are trying to hold their tongue, who's trying to be too nice, who's trying to be on that other type of stuff. You understand?
Yeah, go with your gut.
Right, exactly.
All right. And your book, It's Your Fault You're Single, Tips for Finding Mr. Right. I like that because it puts the blame on the women a little bit.
Yes,
because
exactly.
sometimes they think it's everyone else. Now, at the same time, guys are the same way. I'll be honest, I'm a picky guy. I have certain requirements. Like I really only go for women that are 5'4" and to the floor. That's the saying that I have. And I prefer short hair over long hair. So a lot of my friends are like, you need to drop that and just go for the goal. And but I like how you wrote the book, and it's geared towards women maybe being a little bit too picky. So can you touch on that book for a little bit?
So that book, It's Your Fault You're Single, Tips on Finding Mr. Right, that one's for the ladies. And I really wanted it to, the point of the book is more so to be even, like, not just to technically point the finger and say, hey, I'm blaming you and it's your fault, but more so for women to understand that they should take responsibility for their love lives. You understand? And the thing is that guys, it's the same way for guys, but guys sort of understand that to an extent. Like, they say, hey, well, if I don't actually talk to a woman, I'm not going to get any. You understand? So, but women, on the other hand, since they are conditioned or they're, used to being in just a passive role all the time, you know what I mean? Like, they're kind of just waiting around for things to happen to them. And the thing is, it's okay for women to wait for a guy to approach and then, talk to him and see how he is and everything. But at the same time, women also need to know how to choose better and also know how to maintain the guy they chose. And that's what I try to get across to women, is that, women have, and the main thing is that when I say it's their fault, is that women, generally have a lot of access to men. You understand what I'm saying? They have access to relationships and sex and all that other stuff. You understand? Like, more than men do, because men, we have to go out, we have to talk to the girl, and we have to, if the girl likes us, then she'll give us the information, or we'll exchange information, and then, you know what I'm saying? So we have to constantly work at it. The women are constantly having guys come up to them, so they just kind of sort of lay back and make it happen. So, for example, I was dating this girl one time, and she was on her, she showed me her OkCupid profile. She showed me how many messages she had. So she had 70 messages just that day from guys. You understand?
Wow.
So 70 guys are trying to go on a date with her. You understand? So if 70 people are trying to go on a date with you, and you keep saying, hey, I can't find a man, whose fault do you think that is? You understand?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Good point. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So women have so much access, but they don't take responsibility for what it is. Like, I actually had a friend who was on the Tinder app, or the Tinder
Yeah, I'm familiar with
app
that
or
one.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so she showed me her inbox, and she had about 235 guys who she matched with.
Yeah.
So I said to her, how many of these guys have you went on dates with? She said none. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
So I'm like, you're not
Out of
even
200
dating
people.
this dude. Right. So you can't complain. And this is what I say about women, is that a lot of times they just don't take the step. And really what it is that a lot of women they're being too picky, because a lot of women still have this list of requirements that they're looking for. They're sort of still conditioned looking for that perfect guy, which doesn't exist. You understand?
Yeah.
And on top of that, they won't even necessarily know if they're going to like a certain guy until they actually go on a date with him and try it out, because you have to actually be in it to experience the situation to actually know how you're really going to feel. You understand? Like, women will see things on an online dating profile, and they'll sort of just judge the guy harshly off of those things, and then just keep it moving because they have so many other guys lined up, and they're searching, but they're chasing something that doesn't exist. And this is why they're having, like, bad dating lives. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have any studies to back this statement, but I sometimes think that women need to separate going on a date from having sex. Like, if you go on a date with a guy, it doesn't mean he expects or that you should expect to have sex. A date is a date. You can go out for a cup of coffee. That can be a date. So I feel like with the dating app, sometimes women take it as, oh, he wants to meet up with me just to fool around.
Right.
So that to me is part of it. I mean, of course, every guy's looking to score a goal, but you don't always score a goal when you go into the game.
Right, but also too, with that being said, even with that, women kind of having that attitude towards sex also is something that hinders them from meeting the right guy. Because what you got to understand is that it doesn't mean that you have to have sex with every dude that talks to you, whatever, but you still have to have a more positive, mind frame when it comes to sexuality, because that is what men are interested in. You know what I'm saying? Even, on the forefront. So I always tell women, you don't necessarily have to, have sex with a guy on the first date or whatever like that. But what a lot of women do, which is a big mistake, is, and you see this all the time on online dating profiles, women will say, hey, I'm not looking for a hookup, or no hookups, or I'm not looking for casual sex. And it's like, okay, I understand that, but by you putting that up there, it's starting with a negative, situation, because you're saying, I'm not this and this and that. I don't this and this and that. So you can portray the same sentiment without saying that. You can basically say in your profile, hey, listen, I'm a really cool girl. I'm going to meet some cool guys and go out on some dates and have a good time. That's the same exact thing as saying, hey, I don't just want to hook up, but you're not putting out in the forefront that you're dismissing sexuality. And I always tell women, it's basically like the same thing as if they were on an online dating site and all the men were saying, hey, no committed relationships, no marriage, no getting to know you. Like,
yeah, you're thinking too far ahead.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, you're thinking too far ahead.
Right.
Do you think that women should be more open to approaching guys?
Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely.
Because
definitely. or not even necessarily that they have to like, run up on guys and, try to get their numbers and do like, they don't have to technically do it the exact way we're doing it, but being a little bit more open socially. You understand? So like the woman doesn't even have to necessarily go up to a guy and try to get his number and take him out on a date or whatever. If she does, she doesn't have to even take it to that extent. But just being more open socially, meaning, let's say if, a woman is on line at a grocery store and the guy's in front of him and she just starts having a conversation with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then that opens the situation up for them. The man might be like, okay, yeah, she seems cool. Let me see what she's up to this weekend or whatever, because that will make it easier for her to get what she wants. So if she sees a guy she's interested in, it's okay for her to actually strike up a conversation and make stuff happen,
Yeah. When you're when you're meeting someone for the first time, should people be more willing to kind of just give out their number sooner than later instead of having like a missed opportunity kind of thing after you guys go your separate ways?
Say that again?
So I had I'll use a personal experience. I met this girl at a friend's house. There was a party there, but I didn't give her my number when we were talking. And to me, I feel like I have a missed opportunity now. I did send her a message on Facebook, but I got no reply from it.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm counting it as a loss, but I'm trying to figure out what I could have done differently to maybe have gotten a date out of her.
Right. Yeah. I mean, well, the thing is too is that it's kind of like, you want to get used to the fact of you want to get used to closing the deal with women. I kind of say it like this. When you're in a restaurant or like a McDonald's or something, and
Okay.
they take your order and then they say, you say, hey, let me get a cheeseburger, and then they'll say, do you want fries with that? And then somebody come in, let me get a fish sandwich. Okay, cool. Do you want fries with that? So the do you want fries with that should be your closing when you're talking to women. So you're talking to her like, hey, blah, 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 yeah, this and this and that. Hey, give me your number. We should get together. That give me your number is do you want fries with that? It should be automatic before you leave any woman that you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? So that it's like you're like not even thinking about it, but it comes, and that comes with practice. You know what I mean? But a lot of times what happens is guys sort of don't do it because they're scared of the rejection. They're scared of hearing her say no. You know what I mean? So It's kind of like they'll sort of like, not do it, and they'll, you know what I mean? They'll hesitate. But the thing is, you got to get yourself in a habit of doing that, of closing it so that you actually get that going, because that's the first initial thing of you displaying to her that you're interested. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times girls, they'll interpret you not getting their number as you're not interested. You see what I mean? So it's always good to really make that happen.
Would you say it's too forward to give them your number off the bat versus
you can do that too.
Okay.
You can definitely do that too. And there's a way to do that works better. Like if you can tell a woman, you can give her your number and tell her to call you. But again, like we were saying earlier, you still have to sort of specify when she should call you and what time she should call you. So for example, it'll go something like this, where you're talking to a girl and you'll say, hey, what are you doing Monday night or whatever? And she'll be like, oh, I got to go to work, but I'll be off of work probably at 7 or whatever. I'm like, okay, here's my number. Give me a call Monday at 7 after you get off of work. You understand? So you're telling her when to call you, and you're giving her your information. And also the thing is that if a girl actually does call you through that, like when you give her your number, you tell her to call you, that is showing that she's 100% into you. Because a woman is not going to call you if she's not into you. You understand? Because one, women aren't used to calling men, and two, some women don't feel it's like ladylike for them to do that. So if they actually do that and take that leap to call you, that's showing that she's 100% into you. You understand what I'm saying? So it's always a good thing to do that.
Also, social media throws in kind of a weird dynamic, or at least for me. I had an experience where I liked one girl's photos a lot, but I didn't notice I was liking mostly her stuff.
Right.
And then she contacted me, and I wasn't interested, so it was kind of awkward when she brought it up. And
right.
Now, do you have any advice for people that maybe are trying to find people on, I've heard of people meeting on Tinder, Twitter, and Instagram or Facebook. Now, is that like a whole different level of things going on? Because it's not a given. When you're on a dating app, it's a given. You're trying to find someone. But are there like yeses and nos for when you're trying to go for someone on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and any of those?
Well, I mean, with any of those social networking things, it's kind of like anything else, like in face to face or whatever. It's just you you can put yourself out there and contact the person and see what can go down. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to keep doing it when they're not showing the interest. You understand? So if you're trying to talk to somebody or you like their picture and you send them a message or whatever, you say, hey, you seem kind of cool, we should get together or whatever. And, if they don't respond to you, you don't want to keep sending them 5 or 6 messages asking like, hey, what's up? Why can't we get together?
Count it as a loss.
You just keep it moving. But either way, it's still sort of the same dynamic where you can meet people anywhere, or on any site, any of these sites, anywhere where you can actually contact somebody, you can, you know what I'm saying? You can set something up. I actually have a friend, his name is Royal Flyness, and he actually does online dating books. Like he's like a master at the whole online dating stuff. He has a book called the Facebook Date Book, which teaches you how to date women off of Facebook. And he also has a book called Tweet Her and Meet Her. Okay. And that's how you get girls on Twitter. So he has like a whole thing of, how to do that. So, anybody out there that want to get there, you should definitely get there. You could go to, I think his website's flynesspublishing.com. So that's one of my people right there. And I also did a seminar with him. We did a seminar last year called Manhood in the Game. It was me and him. We were, doing like a seminar talking to guys about like manhood and, relationships, stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. How often do you do seminars?
I do seminars like probably once or twice a year. Right now I'm trying to bump it up to do a little bit more within the coming years and stuff. But it's like I basically do everything myself. So it's like, me and my business partner, we do like everything just ourselves. So it's us two. And, so it's like we put up the money, get the space, sell the tickets, do all the promotions, all that other stuff. So,
Sounds like a lot of work.
And all my seminars are actually on my site, MrLocario.com, so you can download them and watch them and stuff like that and get copies of those.
Is there anything special going on in your life, website, that you want to throw out there?
Yeah, so I actually have a membership program, and you can check that out at badboymembership.com. And basically, that website, it tells you all about my membership program. And what it is that every month I put out a new audio/video tutorial that is like a step-by-step breakdown of different aspects of the game. And it's about like 45 minutes to 90 minutes each audio. And so it's like different things. So like earlier when we were talking about the club, I actually have a program on there called How to Get Girls from the Club Back to Your Place. So if you actually want to go to the club and learn how to pull girls from the club, I talk about it in that audio program. You know what I mean? I have different, things. I have one called the easy way to date online for men. So I know that it's really hard for certain guys to date online. So I have a program on there about online dating. So it's like different things that I break it down to like the simplest form and step-by-step stuff. So all you got to do is kind of listen to it, follow the instructions, and then, make that happen.
And that's all from joining the membership.
Yeah, and that's it's badboymembership.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, I think we're about done here, unless there's anything else you want to bring up or that you want to touch on.
No, I mean, well, I just wanted to thank you for having me on the show. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
No problem, man. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot, and I know my listeners will too. Dating
Definitely.
is a scary world if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, it could be. It's just, as long as you, just keep practicing, keep at it, and, and just understand that, it's something that should be fun, something that, you can get better at, you can make your skills better at it, because it's really all about learning about yourself and about what you like and what you want, and then attracting people who like who you are. And that's really the essence of everything. Because I have a slogan, and my slogan is the truth is inside you. And basically what I try to explain to people is that whatever is true for you, whatever is real to you, you already know it. You already know this is what you like, what you don't like, what you're about, what you're into. And those things can change over time and everything like that. But whatever you're feeling right now is true to you, and that's how you should be, and not be ashamed of that. And be yourself, and then you'll attract those who actually like who you are. And you won't have to feel like you got to change or act this way to get this person, or wear these type of clothes so that someone will like you and all this other craziness. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
It's just really being in tune with who you are and finding other people who are in tune with who you are and like the person you are. You understand?
Yeah, sounds great.
Definitely.
It's-
Definitely.
Well, thank you for being on the show. I hope to have you again in the future. Maybe we'll do like a recap.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate it.
I'll let you know how life has turned out with the van, and if I could bring anyone back there, or maybe I should just suggest to go to their place. I'm trying to work that one out.
Hey,
All right.
yeah, I think you should try that. Try to see if the girls, will come back to the van. That would probably be cool. You know what I'm saying? See how that goes.
Yeah, well, that's the goal, I guess. The bad boy of the dating game, Mr. Locario. Thanks again. MrLocario.com is where you want to go to contact him. Thank you again for being on the show, and I hope to speak to you again.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, now before you click off this video, I need you to do 3 quick things. First, I need you to click the link below to send me your questions, because if you have any questions, I'll answer them in a video. 2, click the link under that to get my free ebook, The Magnificent 10 Crucial Dating Tips for Men. It gives you 10 tips on how to attract beautiful women. And number 3, I want you to click the link under that to go to badboymembership.com, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video tutorials every month. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.